As the Me Too movement works to give women and girls a greater voice, it is also bringing new attention to how boys are raised and the pressures they face. According to research, 30% of high school boys say they have been in a fight. The latest data also shows boys are more likely to take their own lives than girls. In his book, How to Raise a Boy, The Power of Connection to Build Good Men, psychologist Michael Reichert says, quote, "There is a real opportunity today to get boyhood right, perhaps for the first time." Michael joins us first here on CBS This Morning. Welcome.
Glad to be with you all. Thanks for having me.
What are we doing wrong with the way we're raising boys?
I think that just the basic understanding of boys' natures is off base. I think we don't really perceive them as relational and emotional creatures. But what we know is that our human brains are wired to connect, and our emotions are a critical part of how we relate to the world, how we understand ourselves. So getting that right is fundamentally important, I think, for building good men.
Right, you talk about nourishing, essentially, that part of that. What is the man box that you describe?
Yeah, great question. It's a set of cultural norms that I think have been around forever. I think that the idea of conditioning boys to fit into a certain role is heavily prescriptive, and it actually cuts boys, men, off from our human natures, particularly our relationships.
So what are some of those norms for people who...
Be strong, be tough, be willing to fight.
Man up.
Man up. Don't show upset. Don't
know how to
fear.
operate the grill, that kind of stuff.
So how is the Me Too movement changing the way we raise boys?
Yeah, dramatically. I think the women's movement in general has opened up the possibilities for us to reconsider manhood and masculinity.
In a positive way, you're saying?
In a very positive way. Things are dramatically different for this generation of boys, your son, than my sons, or certainly me. I think there's a whole new understanding of how to get along with people and how to hold on to our hearts that's happening for boys now.
You say that there is often a gap between what a boy feels and what those close to him know. So what are we supposed to do with that? Because you're looking at your son and you're thinking he seems okay, but really there's a lot going on inside that we don't know.
Yeah. George Orwell, the British writer, had this wonderful quote. He wears a mask and he grows to fit it.
Yeah.
And I think that, in addition to the man box, there's this idea of the mask of masculinity that boys have to hide behind, or they're vulnerable to being badly treated.
No, you said boys are told, don't show that you're nervous or scared even when you are.
For sure.
And you're told that, you said, by your parents.
And we have to learn how to be strong and stoic by 3 years old. My 2.5-year-old grandson is learning that now.
Mm-hmm. And even in situations where you have to be strong and stoic, I mean, there are some moments emotionally, whether you're a man or a woman, where strength helps with a partner or a family member. You still need to have the ability to talk about. So how do you get young boys to talk about these complicated emotional issues, which people, all kinds of different people have trouble with?
I have the luxury of working at a boys' school outside of Philadelphia, and I lead an emotional literacy program for about 40 or 50 boys that show up voluntarily.
That's so cool.
They actually call it the best program in the school. They come and I help them talk to each other about difficult emotional topics. They have no trouble doing it.
Yeah.
If we build it, they will come.
Yeah.
No, you said if you provide a safe place.
That's right.
Where they feel that they're being listened to and that people really want to hear it, they will open up. Amazing things happen when they speak.
Yeah, what we see is that what we know from research is it's not the experience of emotions that's different between men and women, boys and girls, it's the expression. And the expression follows feeling rules that we culturally prescribe.
And Michael, do we need, as parents of boys, to think about these conversations as happening, maybe not between fathers and sons or mothers and sons, but between a young man and someone like you?
Or a coach, or...
Right.
I know the boys that I see, the young men that I see, love talking to each other, but there's a role that I play as an adult man. We are the keepers of boyhood. We're the architects and the managers of boyhood. We have to give permission.
Mm-hmm. You write also about special time and how important it is for parents to have that with their sons. I know everybody at home's like, give me some lessons, give me something to hold on to that I can do. Talk about that special time.
Yeah, it's basically the idea that if we can put aside, we come to parenting, generally, parenting boys in particular, with lots of anxiety and worries, or concerns or desire to kind of manage them in a particular way. If we can put all that aside and get with our sons and simply follow their lead, indicating to them that we love being with them. They're delighted, they're delightful to us, and we're willing to go where they go, whatever it might be, without modifying things. That's a fundamental skill in building a relationship and strengthening a connection.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
you
Just
make a
be
point.
in each
Yeah.
other's presence.
Well, and for the boy to get the message that I'm going to pay attention to
Yeah.
you and be with you regardless.
I like what you said. Men aren't the only ones that can raise really good boys and really good men. You know, mothers and women in their life play a very key role.
Yeah, the mama's
that-
boy myth
Yeah.
pervades
Yeah.
and makes, unfortunately, many women feel like they need to let their sons go at the risk of ruining their masculinity. And it's actually just the opposite.
Yeah.
To stay close.
Keeping them
I get
close.
it.
Yeah.
I believe that. Thank you, Michael.
Nice talking with you all. Thanks for having me.
How to Raise a Boy is on sale today, wherever you like to buy your books.